Hi everyone, this is Katina from Geelong Wellbeing Centre. Thank you for taking time to listen to me today and to introduce one of our very valuable practitioners, Narelle King from Simply Happy. She is an amazing organiser and she has helped me move on with everything that's going on at the moment with the coronavirus. She's actually stepped in and given me tips on how to change my business into an online business with a new Facebook page for the community so we can all help each other. So all the practitioners here at the centre are going to talk and let you know what their services are. So hi Narelle.
Hi, thank you.
Welcome.
That was really lovely. You didn't have to say that, but yeah, I'm glad to be able to help and to sort of keep the centre open, even though it's not the physical space, but to be able to move it online and be able to build the community so that we can all get to know each other, through an online space anyway. So thank you.
Thank you, Narelle. I'm really, really grateful. And I do feel blessed that you've actually come into the centre because you've helped me tremendously. And I don't know whether I would have been able to continue after this big shock, which is a shock for everyone. And you think, well, how can I continue in my business when we can't serve people face to face? But we've had to adapt and you've helped me tremendously. So if you can tell me, because I know you're a family, you're a mum, you're a teacher, you're a yoga teacher, you're a school teacher, and a yoga teacher, got two beautiful children, and also with a bit of special needs. So you've got really a lot on your plate. So I just want to ask you, Narelle, can you tell us a little bit about the things that you like to do in your free time, if you've got any free time?
Yeah, no, definitely. So definitely when obviously we're not staying at home, when we're not isolated at home, I love hiking. So I did sign up to do again the Surf Coast Trek this year, and that was really disappointing to not be able to do the 40K. But yeah, my husband and I have trekked all over the world together and individually. I've done Nepal, bit of Morocco, and I just love it. I just wish my kids would like it more. They actually don't like hiking much at all.
Wow, that's amazing. I had no idea that you hiked, because I mean you do yoga. I mean, when do you find time to do all these things?
Well, that's the thing. We do it on the weekends. We do some just bushwalking now, but when we can, my husband and I will try and do some, or I'll just do it by myself with some friends. I've got some really great friends who love hiking, so that's really, it's really fun. What else do I love to do? Oh, I love listening to podcasts. One of my things is I love learning. I love learning about lots of different things, mainly wellness and health and energy and and then things to help my children. Definitely that area of autism, just helps me with my own children and with my son. So I do have that sort of interest of learning and using podcasts to learn mainly. What else do I like to do? And then otherwise I like to actually go and do yoga myself. So I did yoga for over 20 years, but only in the last sort of 3 years that I started to practice yin yoga myself for the restorative aspect of it. And that's when I just fell in love with it and decided to go and do my teacher training in it, because I'm actually a qualified PE outdoor ed teacher. So so it just made sense to go and do a teacher training in yin and also nidra, which is sleep meditation, which I really loved practicing and so it's the benefits for myself. So just wanted to share those with other people that I work with and thought they'd benefit from as well.
Well, you've got so many skills, so many life experiences as well. And I did do your Yin Nidra Yoga a few times here in the studio at the centre, and I just was so relaxed, and I was amazed that it wasn't difficult. And I think a lot more men should be doing trying to do this kind of yoga, because I think they feel that they've got to be in all these different positions, and really the positions that you place people in, it's very relaxing, and I just sleep so well. I think I've never tried Yin and Nidra Yoga. I've always been doing the other yoga, which is more really, you know, a bit more difficult. So I really enjoyed it. And I think a lot of people should just go and trial your class and see online. It's been
Definitely. I mean, and that's what I think, you know, with my coaching and running retreats, it was like, if I mention yoga to everyone, would be like, oh, I'm not a yoga person. Whereas it's like this, you know, style of yoga is actually accessible to everybody and anybody can do it. Teaching out at the Ballerine Lifestyle Centre this term, you know, most of the clients there are between sort of 50 and 70, and all of them have absolutely loved doing it and practicing each week. And so if they can do it, anybody can really do it. Like, you know, they're just so motivated and inspiring to see them having a go at all of the positions. So it's really open. It's a really great practice for everybody, no matter what the age and ability, because it's all about just staying in the pose for an extended period of time and using your breath to relax into the pose. So
and there's so many benefits, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You know, it opens up our meridian lines, which, you know, run throughout our body. So it just relaxes those or releases energy that might be blocked or which might come as an emotion. So it helps to release those emotions and heal maybe trauma that might have been there as well. Definitely the Nidra form of meditation is about, like there's actually a form of it that's called I rest. So it's like the Shavasana at the end of yoga. And it's like a Western world has sort of got rid of that and just replaced it with very short, a really short lying down, that's it sort of thing. Whereas the traditional is the Nidra, and that's the part that gives us the sleep benefits as well as calming our nervous system. And so I just love it. It's sort of more between sort of half an hour, even traditionally 45 minutes. So 20 minutes is the perfect practice, and it's like working through your subconscious mind. So it's taking you into almost this sleep state and accessing your subconscious mind, so you can rewrite some of the some of the stories that we have. And it's also a great way of also just helping your whole body to relax. And like they say 20 minutes practice is equivalent rest to 2 hours extra sleep for your body. So
and look,
I think that
20 minutes, anyone can get in 20 minutes in their day. You know, like sometimes you think, I'm going to do an hour yoga, when can I fit it in? But 20 minutes is very realistic. And if you're just doing 4 or 5 poses, or 4 poses, 5 minutes each, and you're just resting in that pose and breathing into the pose and relaxing, it's just, at the end of it, you're just so relaxed, and you've got no thoughts going on in your mind. And you know, it's a really lovely yoga that you do, and you do it so well. I just wanted to ask you, Narelle, how and why did you start your business?
Oh, right. So I was just teaching PE like full time, and I was just exhausted trying to do that. And my children, you know, 2 young children at that stage. And that was when we were having real problems with my son, like behavior issues. And then when he was diagnosed with autism, pretty much I needed to step back from my teaching position because I couldn't manage all of his appointments and just the morning routine and leaving the house. So that sort of just spurred me on of doing something that was still aligned, but something a little bit different. So I did my wellness coaching qualification and and started I had no idea about business back then 3 years ago, and I've learned so much. So I'm glad I've got that love of learning, because I've learned, I feel like I've done a marketing degree and an IT degree, and
I know you do everything, don't you?
Yeah,
you do
no, but
your marketing, and now you're doing mine as well. So I'm very happy about that.
But yeah, no, and then that's what I've been doing, the retreats. I love doing that, and then from that, it was just like, what else could I offer, or what other skill can I add, you know, to my actual to my business, and it was
Yeah.
Yin and Nidra Yoga, which I fell in love with and love for myself. So yeah, I sort of did it to be able to have that flexibility, which has definitely made a difference. So I do still teach 1 day a week because I miss that if I completely get rid of it. But I like the flexibility of my business, and for my children, really it did make a big difference. Now we're at a point where I probably could be working, you know, in a full-time position possibly, or a few more days, but it's definitely made a difference for our family, just to be able to support my son and everybody else in the family as well.
Yeah, I mean, you juggle everything so well, you know. I'm just amazed when you're just doing so many, and you're organising things for so many other people. I mean, that's part of your job. You're an organiser, so you've got
that's probably
these facets. You know, you're juggling.
So but it's funny how it sort of has pivoted and it's slowly developed into what it is today, which is what I'm probably the most happy about. You know, being able to do an online program that joins wellness coaching, the Yin and Nidra, and also connecting with other local businesses to be able to share their wellness and health expertise as well. And then to be able to have, you know, the second part of it, which is working with some families who have got NDIS support and helping them to organise. It's a therapist assistant, but helping them to organise their plans and actually get the most out of their psychologist and their OT's goals, their child's goals, but also whatever they're working with their OT and psychologist to help them, you know, bring it alive in the house and actually do it, because it's hard. It's hard juggling all of that. And I feel like it's just my natural ability, but to be able to, it's almost like my son's, you know, being given to me, to the right person, the person who's the most organised, who's able to do this. So I'm happy to be able to support other families and do the same.
Well, you know firsthand, don't you, how it is.
Yeah. So
you can help others. So I just wanted to ask you, what tips can you give around health and wellness? Because you do your retreats. So what do you, with your retreats, what are you focusing on, and what do you offer?
So it's pretty much about taking some time out to be kinder to yourself. Probably my advice is to find some time for yourself, but it's about working out because I find the people who I attract are people who maybe have sort of lost time for themselves because they've been so busy with their own families and maybe their own job as well, and they've just lost that time, those hobbies that they used to have. And so it's like having the space to be able to then, you know, work out what it is that you used to love and be able to bring that back into your life. Look, one of mine that just comes to mind is I used to play golf all the time, but since my kids, we barely play golf. So that'd be something I'd love to do myself.
You wouldn't find time, would you?
No, golf takes up too much time. But I did even used to play with some friends from uni, PE teachers. But that would be my advice, is just trying to connect back with what you, you know, things that you enjoyed doing maybe before children or even before coronavirus. So it's one thing that I've been doing the past week and working on myself, is looking at the things that I love to do and trying to now build them into my new routine now, one at a time, one thing at a time. So that's one of my tips. And the other thing would be around rest and how important rest is. Like our lives are just so yang, like we're busy, and we actually need, actually rest is productive. And, you know, contrary to what we all think, we all need to rest more. So we need to just switch off and maybe spend time with just our family.
Well, now we've been given the choice now, although for a lot of people it's very difficult to stay at home. There are other people like yourself and myself who want to reach out and help others in this important time where people have got time at home and now they can focus on themselves. They can look at what they used to love to do, and they've got extra time to do yoga via the internet or learn a course on the internet, which is what I'm doing. I'm learning a course. I'm doing the Wim Hof breathing exercise. I'm doing your yoga. I'm doing Kylie's yoga from the centre, you know, all online. And I'm just loving that I can do all this. I miss the interaction, you know, face to face with people, but I'm still getting that through, you know, Zoom, through this kind of interviewing. So it's we all have to adapt, and we have to, I think, be grateful that we have got this opportunity. I like to still send prayers, and I like to meditate, because the people that are working the hardest, you know, in emergency services, police, nurses, doctors, everyone else that still has to work, and you know they've got even extra work now. So if we can all at home with your services, doing the yoga, with meditation, with all the practitioners at the centre doing different things and offering different services, I'm hoping that everyone can calm their mind and find a bit of peace inside themselves and be kinder to each other, and actually look at themselves and say, well, where did I go wrong? Because we can all look back and say, well, I was too busy, too much work, too much stress, not enough time with the family. So now we have got that opportunity to reconnect with our family, which is, and I know some families don't get on, and it's going to be a very difficult and challenging time for those families being locked up at home. But they just need to change their mindset. Even if one person does your yoga or a meditation, their energy will change. And if once their energy changes, the energy changes in the family or in the household. That is a fact. So
yeah, no, definitely.
So I'm very grateful that you're offering your services online. And you know, without the coronavirus, I think a lot of people would not have had this time to you know, look back and say, well, what have I missed in my life, and what should I be doing? So we've got this time now.
Yeah, no, it's a perfect time to really just reflect on your life and make maybe one or two changes that, you know, you hadn't been happy about. And
even just one change is a big change.
Exactly. I wouldn't do more than one or two at a time is plenty for people to make at this moment, especially because it is quite overwhelming and there's so much uncertainty. But it's also about trying to find some predictability in your life, because that's gone right now. And so it's like, how can you incorporate some predictability into your schedule, into your life, into your routine? So that's probably another tip or a piece of advice, is just finding something that you can add in that's new, that's predictable, something maybe that you were already doing, but obviously it's going to be in a new way, like you were talking about. It's online instead. And I'm just so grateful that we've got technology. Even though it's funny, I was having a conversation on Instagram with another person yesterday, and she was like, imagine if it happened when we were kids, you know, that's like 30 years ago or so. And I was like, well, I had, you know, 3 brothers and sisters. I'm sure we would have found, you know, we had a bigger family to play with. So yeah, there was a lot more to do outside, and we were always outside playing. So I don't know if I think it would have been businesses would have suffered more back had it happened back when I was a kid.
Yes. Well, the thing is, we do have the internet now, but I've seen many more children out in the garden on their bikes. I've seen many people walking around getting fresh air. I've met many more neighbours I never knew. They're all greeting and keeping their distance, but they're all really open. I had a lady today call me from her garage while I was walking past the road, saying, oh, it's just good to see another face and say hello. And I thought, wow, that's good. You know, I'm glad that, you know, we made each other's day by connecting. So it's a human connection. So although we're doing it online, you know, we're here for you. We want to support everyone, our clients, new clients, existing, anyone who wants to hop onto the Geelong Wellbeing Centre community Facebook page. And if you've got any questions, please just ask Narelle, ask anyone. You know, we've got different therapists, so different services. So we're here to help you, and we'd like to thank you, offer this so we can thank you for supporting the Geelong Wellbeing Centre, which has been established now for 10 years. So it's we've passed our 10-year birthday, and really I would love to continue being of service to the community. So you know, we want to be here when we reopen the building. So
yeah.
Was there anything else that you'd like to add, Narelle?
No, or just that if anyone wants to access, I do have like Yin Yoga. It's like 5 days of calm your mind and body online. It's free. They get 4 different Yin poses on a video, and then they'll finish with Nidra Yoga. They get a one with music, one without, and then there is a special bonus at the end. But they can access that, so anyone can get it. And it's like, I'm not going to just have it for a small amount of time and take it away. It's there, you know, there forever.
Right.
So people can access it and use that. So yeah, definitely they can go on and grab that. And yeah.
Thanks, Narelle.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks
doing
for
a wonderful job. I think, what have I called you a few times? A genius.
I don't know
I believe. That. I said, how do you do it, Narelle? You are a genius. You're a mum. You're a wife. I'm sure you're a daughter. You're a school teacher. You're an organizer. You're a retreat facilitator. You work for the NDIS, and you've got, you know, obviously you've got some with autism, and 2 beautiful children. So you've got, you know, and you've got to look after yourself as well. So
definitely,
I think you're just amazing. So thank you very much, Narelle.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Spread your kindness and light to everyone.
Thank you.
So guys, we thank you for listening, and tune into our Facebook page. So it's goodbye from me.
And bye from me.
Okay. See you then. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
You have to press stop.